he took me on a non-date over Thanksgiving break. Right, honey?
Do we celebrate the summer, honey?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, July 5th.
Thanksgiving break. The day after Thanksgiving. We're almost getting married then. That's exciting.
We had a mutual friend from back in the day. He set us up on a group text in the first week of August before our freshman year of college, saying, Kristen meet Connor, Connor meet Kristen, you guys are both going to Cal Poly, you both love God, I'll let you take it from there. And I thought it was super awkward, she thought it was super awkward, so we both didn't text back. We went to our first day at Cal Poly, and I had met some people who went to Westlake who were some of her friends, and they were like, oh, is it cool if my friend Kristen comes and hangs with us? And I went, yeah, cool, I've met 1,000 people today. What's another person?
As my friend met me on the street to walk me back to where the dorm was, he was like, oh, by the way, there's this kid that lives across the hall from me and his name's Connor and he went to Oaks Christian. How funny is that? Walked into the room, said hi, but then we were watching, I think it was Indiana Jones or something, so we all sat down and watched the movie.
Yeah, met her and thought she was beautiful right away.
We didn't really talk. But then the next day we went out to a party with the same group of people, and Connor and I ended up talking for an hour at the party.
I think what drew me to her first was just our first conversation we had. We talked probably for about an hour of just kind of connecting all of the touch points that our lives had together. Our lives were so parallel for such a long time, yet we had never met until that first day of school.
We ended up hanging out a lot. I was always over at their dorm because, again, I had friends from high school in that dorm and they lived right across from Connor, so we would hang out as a group a lot. And then Connor introduced me to a lot of the girls in his dorm, and I later joined their Bible study. Connor was my ride to church every week. He was my ride to crew. We were spending a lot of time together. We both joined the worship team. By Thanksgiving, I was okay, I like him, but it's November, this is weird, I shouldn't like anybody. So we didn't openly talk about it.
We were drawn to each other for sure. I think we were kind of dancing around it for a long time, kind of awkward middle schoolers, not even talking about it.
Throughout that entire year, it was kind of back and forth, I didn't know if he liked me. All my friends were he obviously does.
Come February, I kissed her for the first time.
In February is when we had our first kiss.
From there, we sat down and kind of talked about okay, what is this gonna look like?
I remember him saying, well, I just can't date anybody right now. Okay.
Took me a lot longer to kind of figure out what I was looking for.
I remember running up to my friend's dorm. He and Devin and Summer were all there, and I told them, and they were all so excited, and then I just started crying and said, but he doesn't want to date me.
She knew right away that she wanted to be with me, which I think it just took me a bit to confirm that, yeah, she's the one I want to pursue.
And by April, it was well, this is dumb. Clearly we both have feelings for each other, so I asked him out for his birthday.
She actually took me out for my birthday on April 18th, which we consider to be, I think, our first official date. So I marked that as day one of dating.
I didn't know that we were official. I just figured oh, this is a guy I'm casually dating, it seems we're both invested, we're both interested.
July 5th, 2014, we were hanging out, we were home for summer.
My cousins were out here and they asked okay, so who's this guy you're dating? Is this your boyfriend? And I was I couldn't tell you, I have no idea. Apparently
I said these words. I was walking her out to her car and then I just told her, we're dating, right?
She was no, I did not know that.
The first day that I told her that I loved her was definitely one of those no turning back moments, as I call it.
It was after crew. I was sick. I remember I was playing violin on stage and I thought I was going to die. So I texted him and asked him to go run to Target and grab me medicine. I just remember him caring for me really well.
She had a pretty difficult day. I had been going through some difficult things, and we both it was in the evening, and we both had a moment where we kind of just held each other's burdens and kind of held each other up Knew that I had loved her, but it was just that culminating moment of like, yeah, this is like what it actually looks like. Not just the words, but what happened tonight is why we love each other.
We were walking out to the car to load like all our gear in, and he like hugged me and said, "I love you." And then his friend got in the car because we were also taking him home.
So she didn't say it back because we had the friend, and it was just bad timing on my part. Like, oh, by the way, I love you.
I like stopped, was questioning, like, did I really just hear that? And then he's having a conversation with his friend, like nothing happened. But after his friend got out, I said, "I love you too."
Just the like amount of joy that I felt in that moment of like, oh my gosh, this is real.
I had the passing thought like, oh, he's probably gonna do it on my birthday because when else can he get all the family together? But then he had me plan everything, so I was like, probably not.
That was the beauty of it, is she was under the impression the entire day that like what was happening on that Saturday is what was gonna happen and nothing else.
Woke up, got ready, I was just excited for the day that we were gonna have. We went to breakfast and like it seemed totally fine.
I don't think I ate much that meal, but because we were all laughing the whole time, that went unnoticed. And then our plan was to go down to the LACMA Museum in LA. And so I knew I had to get her from breakfast to the spot. That was all I knew. I didn't plan like details or a script or any of that.
When he pulled onto the wrong freeway, it's like, where are we going? Like, why are we doing this?
In my lack of planning, I just went to get gas.
Once he got off the freeway and drove past 3 gas stations, I was like, so we're not getting gas, like what are we doing?
And then I get a text from you saying, oh my gosh, Connor, there's a person playing guitar on the bench. Like, what do I do?
And he was texting while driving, which is very uncharacteristic of him, but he like looks stressed.
I pulled out my phone. I was like, oh man, tell them to leave. And so we're about a minute out and I didn't get a text back from you yet. And so I was like, okay, Chris, I need you to close your eyes for this part of the birthday surprise.
Immediately I was like, oh my god, he's gonna propose. And then he continued and said, I need you to close your eyes. And I was like, this is miserable. I hate closing my eyes.
We pulled up to the spot and then I walked her and I had her open her eyes and got down on a knee and just said, Kristen, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?
Yeah, I burst into tears and I said yes.
It was a beautiful moment that we got to share. And then I think my favorite part of that was she looked at me kind of like through the teary eyes and went, what are we gonna do now? And I just went, the day that you planned. Let's go have the best day of our lives. From there, we were just on cloud 15.
We had the best day just to ourselves and then came back and celebrated with the family and it was awesome.